Peter is doing his usual rounds of the city. You know, catching bad guys, getting chased by cops, you know the usual stuff. When all of a sudden, a bright purple light shines throughout the city. And of course, your favourite webhead runs to investigate. Inside, he finds what seems to be some sort of glowing mist. And Peter doesn't really know what to do. It must be some sort of energy source. He looks around for some more clues, and that's when he puts two and two together. It's Mysterio. And just as he makes the realization, his spider sense goes berserk as the man himself makes an appearance, attempting to squish our beloved spider. But Peter gets the better of him, as always. But while Peter is done webbing him up, he's distracted. And that's when Mysterio reaches for his gun and gets a shot off, missing Peter, but hitting the machine. It immediately sucks Peter directly into its vortex, and poof, he's gone. While Mysterio can only look on in horror, as his plan has completely backfired once again. Well, that sucked, he thinks to himself. Why is it daytime? It was only just night. And why does New York's landscape look weird? He just chalks it up to another one of Mysterio's weird tricks, and zips away, back to that warehouse he was just in. But this time, it's someone's home. What the hell? He goes to stop a mugging, and the guy tells him to get his own costume. The one he's wearing was Peter Parker's. What? How does he know his name? What's going on? He brushes it off and flies away. But a black flash zooms by him. What's going on around here? Spiderman? Back in the 616 universe, Mysterio's getting ready to pilot his new invention. It's a remote-controlled avatar of him, basically. He sends it through the portal to go on the hunt for that slippery spider. Back on that rooftop, Peter can't believe his eyes. Who the hell is this? Is it a clone thing? But the kid doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe a Nick Fury test. That seems plausible. He asks the kid's age, but he seemingly can't contain his excitement. Are you really Peter Parker? What? Oh my god, you are, he screams. He's so excited for some reason, and why does he know who Peter is? What's going on here? Peter's had enough and shoots a web at him, but he dodges with ease. He seems surprised that he dodged it. But Peter doesn't give him a chance to recover, kicking him off balance. Peter doesn't have time for this. Who is he shouts. But the strange kid just wants to talk. He doesn't want him to freak out or anything. He dodges another attack. Whoa, are those real web shooters? Mechanical or organic? Who are you? Peter screams once more. Dude, I'm Spider-Man too. Peter is getting tired of this act. But Miles seemingly jabs his neck and zaps it with a small bit of electricity, and Peter is absolutely out for the count. Venom sting, he calls it. He wants to talk to Peter, but he's out cold. Until he begins lifting his mask up, and that's one thing you never do to a masked superhero. Peter kicks him with all his might, right off the roof, but quickly realises, what if he can't stick to walls or shoot webs, and immediately dives after him. But Miles is safe. He's just invisible. I'm only realising Miles is actually so OP. He slides down his webs, kicking him in the face, and they both fall. Peter makes a net to catch them and then pulls off Miles' mask. But Miles has the same rule as Peter. You can't do that. And he zaps the net Peter just made, evaporating it and leaving Peter to fall to the ground. But before that happens, Miles activates Peter's web shooters and swings them to safety. Later, Peter awakes in what seems to be some sort of cell, and someone who's calling themselves Nick Fury is talking to him. But that's not the Nick Fury he knows, but Nick wants answers. So he basically tells him the whole story in one long breath, explaining Mysterio and the whole different dimension thing. Also asking, why does everyone know Peter Parker is Spider-Man? And who was that kid out there? Nick just asks him to follow him. And he officially introduces Miles to Peter, but explaining, this isn't the Peter Parker they knew. He was only a kid. New? What do you mean new? And why are you saying was? But Nick just tells him to go with Miles. He will show him everything and explain what happened to their Peter Parker. They're flying away in a chopper, and Peter finally asks, is your Peter Parker dead? It's Mysterio. He's here. They try to engage in an attack, but it's no use. They can't get near him. He's delighted. 2 Spider-Men for the price of 1. He definitely has the upper hand right now, and it just gets worse. He seemingly just opened a portal to a host of different dimensions and just about every villain Spider-Man has ever faced. They are overrun and don't stand a chance. There's too many. But Miles has no experience in fighting that much. It's his youthful and lack of fear that gives him the edge over Spider-Man right now. He thinks he's invincible, even coming face to face with a Hulk and brushing it off, and he finally takes down Mysterio, and in turn makes every villain vanish. Peter figured, good old Mysterio, they were just illusions. And as they're investigating the robot body, Peter says Miles should probably take a step back. You never know what Mysterio... Later, Miles awakes and is staring face to face with the Ultimates, this world's Avengers. What are they doing here? Tony heard about this so-called dimension hopping technology and he couldn't stay away. But while they're discussing this whole giant mess, Peter seems to have slipped away. But where's he going and why? Peter pulls up to a corner shop and he uses the lady's iPad to check something. And it's really true. This Earth's Peter Parker is dead. Later, he turns up at his old house and he just stands there and stares. Until Aunt May and a younger Gwen Stacy emerge. And they are furious. Who is this imposter? Who does he think he is? Peter finally speaks, telling Gwen he can't believe it. She's so young. But Aunt May walks directly towards him, slapping him in the face so hard. Then Gwen begins pummeling him. But Miles intervenes out of nowhere, begging them to stop. This is really him, he shouts. But they're unbelievably confused. Peter realizes that this was a mistake. He should have never come here. He just can't wrap his head around the fact that he died here. He apologizes. And then Aunt May suddenly faints. Later, Gwen is on the phone to someone. She tells her she needs to get over here. There's something she needs to see. The gang are just sitting around upstairs, getting to know this Peter. This Gwen lives with Aunt May. After Peter and her family died, she had no one else, so Aunt May took her in. Then she asks if his world has a Gwen, and he just gets a bit awkward on the subject because her being dead and all that. Aunt May finally gets her words out and asks if it's truly him, and it really is. She asks if there is a she where he is from, and he tells her there is. Her and Uncle Ben raised him, but sadly he's dead in his world too. And just to make sure it's really him, one last time, Peter says the famous catchphrase, and she finishes it off. It really is him. Aunt May finally has her chance to talk to her baby again. Peter asks if they knew the other Peter was Spider-Man, and they did, but weirdly so did Kitty Pryde randomly. They dated in the Ultimate Universe, by the way. Random, I know. The whole world found out he was Spider-Man when he passed. It became a global news story. Miles tells him he thinks it's time to go. Nick Fury is outside. They wish he could stay here forever, but he can't. But May and Gwen really needed that for their closure. Everyone's happy, and just as Peter is about to step into the car downstairs, he spots someone out of the corner of his eye. He thinks he recognizes her. It's MJ. But she just runs off. It's time to go, Nick says. And Peter solemnly gets in, and they take off. Next plan of action? Get the real Mysterio. Back in the 616 universe, he's contemplating just leaving the portal closed forever and trapping Spider-Man there for good, but he needs to see it for himself. He needs to know Spider-Man is suffering on the other side. Just a peek, he thinks. He's pulled through immediately and comes face to face with his retirement party. Nick Fury says that he will keep him on their Earth as he now knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so he can't go back to the 616. Peter thanks him and the rest of the team for everything, but it's time to go. Before he does, he thanks Miles, but he's puzzled. For what, he says. Keeping it going. Your Peter would have wanted that. So Miles officially has his blessing to carry on the Spider-Man name. They shake hands and off he goes, but not before he gives him a bit of advice. No clones. Seriously. And only date one girl at a time. And if someone called Dr. Octopus tries to marry Aunt May, don't let him. And don't let anyone name a Wolverine or Mockingbird money ever. You'll never get it back. Miles thinks he should write all this down. But after all that, he is gone. And back in his own world, he has a nice sit down after a shower at his laptop and thinks to himself, there's only one thing on his mind right now. Miles Morales. Does he have a Miles Morales? And that's where it ends, folks. That's issue 1 to 5 on the Spider-Man series written by Brian Michael Bendis in 2012. Let me know what you thought. I thought it was a nice little quick read. Getting to know the two Spider-Mans, getting to know each other for the first time. Let me know what you thought. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.